Hello travelers and welcome to another Tempo Storm Battlegrounds video. Today we're going to take a look at how to increase your success rate with a very challenging yet rewarding hero, Dancin Deryl. This hero is easily regarded as the highest skill cap hero available in the Battlegrounds due to the complex decision making that must be employed to play him optimally. Because of this, many players have a hard time finding initial success with him or avoid him altogether. That changes today as we will break down Daryl's playstyle into an easy to understand template that will help you craft a strong mid-game board presence when transitioning into the late game. Before we continue, make sure that you hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with our latest Hearthstone content. Dancin Deryl's hero power is called Hat Trick and reads Passive Hero Power. After you sell a minion, give 2 minions in Bob's Tavern 1/1. The strategy for succeeding with this hero revolves around purchasing minions from the tavern and then selling them back to give the remaining minions in the tavern 1/1 buffs. The nature of this hero power means that you will constantly be buying and selling minions throughout the entire game at a rapid pace. The skill in mastering this hero is understanding which minions to buff, how much you should buff them, and how to successfully navigate these turns on a strict timer. This combination of requirements means that piloting this hero on a mobile device will be difficult, so keep that in mind when opting to play Daryl on your phone or tablet instead of on a PC. Daryl's core strength lies in his ability to buff up strong minions and amplify the power level of those minions substantially. The minions you choose to buff will often be a part of your roster for a fair amount of time, so make sure that you are buffing minions that are already strong instead of buffing minions which scale poorly. As an example, Kindly Grandmother, Mounted Raptor, and Rat Pack are all tier 2 minions, however Rat Pack scales throughout the game much better than the other two options. A common mistake by many players who decide to take on this hero for the first time is choosing to buff minions that scale poorly. You should be picking up the same types of minions that you would pick up with any other hero. Daryl will simply magnify the power of these minions in an explosive fashion. A big question that many players have is when should I tavern up? The answer to this question is a bit complex, but put simply, it depends. There are 2 primary ways to play Daryl. The first is to camp a lower tavern tier, such as tier 2 or 3, and dance on minions that are cheap and easy to obtain, but have a low overall power level. The second strategy is to tavern up regularly up to tier 4 or 5, and dance on minions that have a much higher power level. Each strategy has different benefits. The first strategy means that obtaining triples and combining the stats of 2 overbuffed minions into 1 tripled monster of a minion is much easier due to the lower pool of cards that you have to choose from. The issue with this strategy, however, is that the minions that you will be dancing with are still just mediocre in quality, and you will be relying on sheer stats to carry you to victory. The second strategy means that you will have much higher quality minions with strong synergies, so dancing on these minions will increase their capabilities exponentially. Utilizing this strategy, you will be able to create strong compositions as you would in any other game. However, the strength of the composition will be increased due to Daryl's buffs, allowing you to have very strong Cobalt Guardians, Cave Hydras, and other high-quality minions. The downside to this game plan is that the pool of minions is higher, meaning nailing down a composition is a bit harder, and also a higher tavern tier means more minions in the tavern pool, which affects your ability to buff up the correct minion. Of these 2 strategies, both will almost always guarantee a top 4 finish. However, taverning up to tier 4 or 5 is the stronger option overall, and camping a low tavern becomes less successful as your MMR raises. At the end of the day though, choose the playstyle that is the most comfortable and fun for you. Regardless of which strategy you choose, here's a pretty easy to follow template for how your early game should look. Turn 1, always buy a token or the otherwise best statted minion. Turn 2, upgrade your tavern. Turn 3, sell off a token or the minion you purchased on turn 1 and buy 2 new minions. These minions will be buffed from Daryl's passive. Turn 4, purchase 2 more minions. Turn 5, upgrade your tavern and purchase another minion. Turn 6, put on your tapping shoes, it's time to dance. At this point in the game, you should have 5 minions or 6 if you were offered a token generator on turn 1. Your tavern should be up to tier 3, and there will be 4 minions in the shop which you can choose from. Select 1 minion which you wish to be the primary recipient of your buffs. We'll call this the good minion, and then do the following. Buy 2 bad minions, sell 1 bad minion, buy 1 bad minion, sell the 2 minions you just bought this turn, and 1 old minion that you already had, and then buy the last remaining minion. Following this procedure will give you the good minion with 8/8 stats. That probably sounded complicated, but put into simpler terms, buy 2, sell 1, buy 1, sell 2, buy 1. This turn is the beginning of your power spike, so choose an appropriately strong minion to isolate your buffs onto. Here's a simplified version of the early game template. From turn 7 onward, your decision on which strategy you prefer will come into play. If you wish to utilize the low tavern strategy for a top 4 finish, simply continue to dance using the previous strategy on turn 6. If you have your sights on first place, go ahead and upgrade your tavern and then buy 1 minion. Since the formula for purchases is pretty much the same as turn 6 for those of you who choose to maintain a low tavern, we will outline the new formula for people who went ahead and chose to upgrade to tavern tier 4. Dancing on a tier 4 tavern is actually much easier than it seems. There will now be 5 minions to choose from instead of only 4, which means that sometimes our buffs will land on unwanted minions. The strategy is the same as before though. Choose 1 minion that you want to buff, then buy 3 bad minions, sell 2 minions, buy the last bad minion, sell 3 of your weakest minions, and then buy the remaining good minion. This minion will have 10/10 in stats from your dance. Once again, in simple terms, buy 3, sell 2, buy 1, sell 3, buy 1. All of your future dances will look similar to this pattern, and learning this pattern will alleviate a ton of pressure when playing out your future turns. As you replace your old non-buffed minions with new ones, you will have spare gold. Use this gold to re-roll the tavern to find a minion that you want, and then freeze the tavern, spending any extra gold to purchase minions to hold onto for selling purposes on later turns. Now that we've discussed how to dance, let's talk about what kind of minions you want to be buffing up. As was stated before, you want to buy minions that are already strong and that benefit greatly from Darryl's passive. These will be minions like Cave Hydra, Cobalt Guardian, Psychotron, Rat Pack, Security Rover, Iron Sensei, and some higher tier minions like Lightfang Enforcer, Annihilin Battlemaster, Myexna, Zap Slywick, and Foe Reaper. Additionally, minions that buff other minions via the magnetic mechanic are amazing, such as Replicating Menace and Annoyo Module. Crowd Favorite is a pretty good minion to purchase as well, since he will probably receive a ton of buffs as you buy and sell minions, some of which will have battle cry effects. If you've decided to use the low tavern tier strategy, you will probably be incurring a lot of triples. If you find a second copy of a minion you already have, there is no reason to dance with it. Just hang on to it and dance on the third copy that you find. This will still combine the stats of the 2 minions without investing resources into dancing into a second copy of a minion that you may never find a third copy of. After practicing your dancing turns and better identifying what minions to dance on and when, you will be sure to snag a ton of easy top 4 finishes. And that's all we have for you today, friends. Hopefully this video has aided you in your endeavors to become a better Battlegrounds dancer. Which strategy do you prefer when you play Darryl? Camping a lower tavern or going all in on the higher tiers? Let us know in the comments. If this information was useful to you, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more Tempo Storm Hearthstone content. Take it easy, friends.